So a letter popped through my letterbox today, and Alex brandished it before she opened it, and it said it's an election communication from Corby from Tom Pursglove, and it's addressed to John Neville and Margaret Neville, which of course is our real names, but they're not the names we go by. When we opened it, I was expecting a letter from our local MP, Mr. Tom Pursglove, who frankly is a bit of a Tory Brexiteer tosser. But actually, I got a letter from the tosser-in-chief, the Right Honourable Boris Johnson. Ironically, Boris doesn't use his first name the same way that I don't use my first name, because his first name is Alexander and his third name is Feffel. I think many people know that. So, and here's my letter from Feffel. Dear John and Margaret. So, it's not really addressed to us. Better hospitals, safer streets, improved schools. Let's unlock Britain's future. That's all in bold. The last few years have been frustrating. I get it. I've been just as frustrated as you. We've had 3 years of a hung parliament that agrees on nothing except more arguments. We don't have to go on like this. Together, we can end the doom and gloom. Can we really, Boris? Can we really end the doom and gloom? So if you do get your majority, which you're aiming to get, and actually all the opinion polls suggest you're going to get, which is I find utterly astonishing, but hey, there you go. You're going to probably give us the shittiest Brexit deal we could possibly get, and it isn't going to take 5 minutes to negotiate, and we're not going to leave the EU by the end of January, because we start the transition period there, and we'll go through 2 years of more nonsense. And it says, the next thing it says is, the country needs a majority government, and you can secure it with your postal vote. The great thing about a majority is that it allows us to get stuff done, and that's exactly what we'll do. Yeah, fuck everything up. Just the way that you've fucked everything up so far. Lie about things the way that you've lied about things so far. Run away. You wouldn't go on the telly. They put a block of ice in your place last night. A block of ice. It's got more bloody substance than you've got. At least a block of ice can't tell lies, which is about the only thing you can do, except you keep your fucking trousers on, isn't it? You know, you spend all the time that's probably where you were last night, finding some bird you can shag, you randy bloody blonde twat who doesn't know the number of kids he's got. Or, well, not willing to admit to the number of kids we've got. I mean, there must be poor little buggers, probably loads of little blonde kids running around in various different parts of London in posh houses because you haven't been able to keep your dick in your pants, you stupid prat. Anyway, passing our Brexit deal, which is agreed and ready to go from day one. It protects jobs and trade. It protects jobs and trade possibly slightly better than if it was a no-deal Brexit, but it doesn't protect the same amount of jobs and trade that would be protected if we actually didn't leave the EU at all. All of the economic analysis suggests that any deal will cost jobs and trade, will have an impact on the GDP of the country. Therefore, will have an impact on the possible expenditure that the country can make on things like hospitals and so on. So, you know, you look at what Corbyn. I'm no lover of Corbyn, but what Corbyn's saying about spending lots of money. See, the thing is that there's a chance that if Corbyn gets in, we get another referendum. There's a chance we stay in the EU, and there's a chance that actually we get that 50 billion staying in the EU bonus that Jo Swinson lady from the Liberal Democrats is banging on about. So then they'll have a little bit more money to spend on the things that you say you're gonna spend money on. So anyway, passing the Brexit deal, we've done that. 33.9 billion extra on the NHS. Well, I don't know if I believe that, because most of the numbers you've trotted out so far are numbers that are already there. Like, for example, Matt Hancock with his, 50,000 extra nurses. Well, actually, it's not 50,000. It's actually keeping hold of about 20,000 extra nurses who are so pissed off with the way that the National Health Service has been run and financed over the last 10 years that you and your band of fucking Tory rubber barons have been responsible for, that they want to piss off. Oh, so, but you see, but actually they want to piss off, but you count them in the 50,000 new nurses. Well, they're not new nurses. They're the same 20,000 that are already there that want to piss off because of your fucking policies so far, because of the 9 years you've been in charge. So you want to put things right. You want to put things right. You want to put things. So, and those things are actually things that the problem of that has been caused by the Tory policies of the last 9 years. Your hospital and your local GP can give you the healthcare you need. 20,000 extra police officers. 20,000 extra police officers. Well, this will give us 1,000 less police officers than we started with when your illustrious predecessor and the previous Home Secretary, Theresa Useless May, cut from the police service at the beginning of the 2010s or whenever it was she did it. So actually it's 20,000 extra police officers. Well, actually no, it's not. It's 1,000 less police officers than we had when you initially got elected into the coalition in 2010. More funding for every pupil in every school, so your child gets a better education. That's great, isn't it? Well, the thing is, you don't really give a stuff about who gets a better education in this country, because you know that you and all of your sort will continue to get an extraordinary education because you go to Eton or Harrow or Oundle or Kimbolton or one of these local schools around here that are full of people that have got loads of money, that don't pay VAT on their children's education, and of course not a burden on the public system. Well, why would they be? You know, when they're paying £20,000 a year at least, maybe £30,000 a year. Yeah. Anyway, growing an economy that creates jobs and pays for our public services. That's another thing it says. Well, except that economy will be smaller because we won't be in the EU. The various different assessments I've seen, they're all saying something like the maximum size economy is going to be 6% smaller than what we currently got, and actually I've seen assessments that could be estimates that could be 15% smaller in 10 years time. So let's put the last 3 years behind us. Let's move on as a country and get on with our priorities. Yeah, the priorities that have been set by that cunt weasel Dominic Cummings, who you keep locked up in number 10, and of course that twat Dominic Cummings is also the guy that's preventing you from being from going on the Andrew Neil show, because he knows that Andrew Neil will rip you a new arse if you go on that programme, and it's never a good look having a new arse ripped, is it? So that's why you're running away from that, you spineless twat. Britain has spent too long going nowhere, on the road to fucking nowhere, spinning around a hamster wheel of doom, the Tory hamster wheel of doom. That's why your role in this election is huge, because you can get us out of it. Your postal vote can secure a majority government. It's not going to secure a majority Conservative government, because my postal vote is already on its way. It's already on its way to my local council, and I've already voted. And I haven't voted for Tom Pursglove, and I haven't voted for you. Last time we were just 9 seats short of a majority. The election will be just as close. Unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to be just as close. It looks like we're going to be in for the purgatory of a Tory majority. It's going to be great. I'm asking you to use your postal vote for Tom Pursglove in Colby in North East Northamptonshire. Let's end the arguments. Let's get on with the country's priorities. Let's unleash Britain's potential. Really. Well, thank you very much, Boris. But I won't be doing any of that, and I won't be voting for Tom Pursglove. And why don't you just fuck off and die in a ditch somewhere?